And if Canelo Alvarez does make sense and you step into the ring with him, obviously that's a super fight for boxing. How does that go down? Just break it down for us a little bit. We want to see it obviously happen.
I ain't gonna break it down to you. You know what I mean? The strategy is leaving with my hand, you know, rolls and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, you know, sums it up in a little bit of.
The best is yet to come from Terence "Bud" Crawford as the sport shapes up for arguably one of the biggest years in boxing. Terence "Bud" Crawford says the best is yet to come. It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I could just do this all day, the two-time demonetized champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. Bud Crawford. Your boy Bushido is pretty excited, man. I'm pretty excited. This is really good times to be a boxing fan. Turkey Al-Ashiki is really making things happen. A fight like this, right, between Canelo and Crawford, likely would never have happened if a guy like Turkey Al-Ashiki wasn't involved. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? They would have had to find the money to pay Canelo. They would have had to find the money to pay Crawford. There would have been all this big, long, drawn-out negotiation process that eventually the fans would have got in the middle of it, and then the fight probably wouldn't even never have happened. But this thing is happening. And it's probably likely going to be happening in September. We ain't got no official date yet, but Terence "Bud" Crawford seems to be extremely excited on social media, and we already know what this means, right? Crawford just can't wait to let everybody know the big news. But a lot of us hardcore fans already know what this news is. But Terence "Bud" Crawford says this: "I'ma shock the world. Watch. The best is yet to come. I had it in my back pocket this whole time." End quote. So he had it in his back pocket this whole time. He probably already knew this Canelo fight was going to happen. And now he's ready to shock the world once again. Then he says everything happens for a reason. Remember that. This is good news for boxing fans, man. A lot of people didn't want this thing to happen. A lot of people was very dismissive of the fight. A lot of people just said Crawford just can't do it. A lot of people said he can't get the job done. A lot of people said he can't beat Canelo Alvarez. But something like that has a different type of effect on a guy like Terence Crawford. That's adding fuel to his motivation. That's adding fuel to his fire to go into this big fight with Canelo Alvarez. Now, I already told you guys what I think the big advantage that Canelo has over Crawford going into this fight. It is not necessarily the weight. It's the politics. I think Terence Crawford's biggest obstacle in this fight with Canelo is the politics of boxing. Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people get paid off Canelo. A lot of people eat really good off Canelo, right? A lot of people benefit from Canelo Alvarez winning, right? A lot of people benefit from Canelo Alvarez doing what he's been doing in the sport of boxing. But a guy like Terence "Bud" Crawford, who has enough juice to carry the mantle, right? He could put a monkey wrench in these plans. Not to mention Terence "Bud" Crawford likely will be retiring after this fight with Canelo Alvarez, right? He's likely going to be retiring. Now, if there's some type of rematch clause we don't know about, then he may finish this thing off with Canelo and then ride off into the sunset, right? Let's just say hypothetically, Canelo fights William Skull in May, gets his IBF belt back, right? If all things goes well, right, we would assume that Canelo, he fights in May and September. So he's going to be fighting in September. I highly doubt he's going to be fighting Crawford in May. He's going to be fighting Crawford likely in September. But if he fights William Skull in May, he gets his belt back, right? Then we go see Crawford in September, right? But look, man, this is going to be a good one, y'all. Crawford says this: "I remember being left out. That's why they let me in. I crashed the party." Now, he's talking about Tank Davis, right? Tank Davis got left out. Crawford seen Tank Davis's tweets. Maybe he's seen your boy Bushido's video on Tank Davis, right? Maybe he's seen the live stream we did earlier today talking about him and Ryan Garcia and everybody else that's been. Speaking of Ryan Garcia, the fight with Devin Haney is official, allegedly, right? Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, too, is allegedly a done deal, right? So we go talk about that as well. 2025 may be one of the best years in boxing, you guys, right? I'm kind of all over the place in this video, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's just so much stuff that started happening out of nowhere in boxing. It's kind of hard to just kind of. Crawford has some things to say about Tank Davis. He was laughing at Tank, right? He said, I see somebody mad they wasn't invited to the At Ring Magazine Gala. Laughing emojis. He's talking about Tank Davis. Tank Davis was mad. We did a video on it. We did a live stream on it. We talked about it. Tank Davis is pretty upset because, well, he's on the outside looking in. And Terence Crawford is very familiar with how that feels, right? But Tank Davis, this is kind of his own doing, right? He kind of put himself on the outside, and he thought a lot of other people was going to be standing outside with him. He thought guys like Canelo was going to be standing outside with him. Canelo said, no, let me in the building. It is raining out here, right? So he's up in here in right on season. Canelo Alvarez is going to be giving boxing fans arguably the biggest fight of this generation with Terence Bud Crawford. So salute to Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? The biggest mistake he made is signing that contract, in my opinion, right? But Crawford's biggest obstacle in this fight, like I said before, is the politics of boxing. The politics that surround Canelo Alvarez. You're going to have to get up in there and get right to work. You got to already understand that you're going to be down 3 to 4 rounds as soon as you step into that ring. So you got to get to work, and you got to get to work fast, right? It's going to be a great fight, right? I'm not saying Crawford goes in there and just stops Canelo Alvarez. Dude is durable. He has an iron chin. We rarely seen Canelo Alvarez hurt. But what Terence Bud Crawford can do is put up a masterclass boxing clinic on Saul Canelo Alvarez. But yeah, man, a lot of you guys didn't want this fight to happen, but guess what is happening? A lot of you guys was dismissive of Crawford, saying that he can't do it, but I think he's going to show you guys that he can do it. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Terence Bud Crawford said he's going to shock the world. Just watch. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.